Here with another book review. Today I'm reviewing Clifford's, well, it's really just about Clifford books, but this one is Clifford's First Halloween. It's a very cute story. I think it has a lot of parts that children would like, and it's a perfect book for the upcoming Halloween holiday. My son is obsessed with pumpkins, so he loved the cover, and it made it more fun for him to read. Clifford books have always enchanted children, but what a lot of people might not know is how Clifford came to be. Its author was actually an artist who wanted to illustrate children's books, and he showed a publishing company some of his paintings, and there was one about a big red bloodhound and a little tiny girl. And she said, well, why don't you try to write a book to go along with this one, and then we'll talk. So he wrote a book called Clifford, the Big Red Dog. And ever since then, everybody has loved Clifford. And even though the book is, like, pretty old, because, let's face it, I can't remember exactly when it happened, but it was quite a while back. It was before I was born. But Clifford became immensely popular, and I don't think I know of a kid today in my generation that didn't watch the Clifford shows or read a Clifford book. So my son originally loved Biscuit, the Yellow Puppy, by Alyssa Cappuccilli, I think is how you say her name. So I bought him Clifford to kind of expand his reading basis, and he loves Clifford. Absolutely loves him. If you have a very young child, I would recommend getting hardbacks or the board books, because my son literally has read these so many times that the paperbacks will literally fall off the book. So these are great books for kids. They have moral values in there and how to treat other people and things like that. And it's not just a book for girls. Just because the main character is a girl doesn't mean that it's for girls. Who wouldn't want to have a giant red dog? But there's also one called Clifford Gets a Job, and it's because his dog food is outrageous because he eats so much. So he gets a job to pay for his own dog food. And it's a really good book. There's also one, and I can't remember the name of it. I think it's Clifford Goes to Dog School or something. And Emily Elizabeth crosses the street without looking both ways. And you can kind of teach your kids safe habits and things like that. There's also Clifford's the Firehouse Dog. And that can teach your kids fire safety. So they're really good books if you want to teach your kids. It's never too early to start teaching them safety rules about fires and traffic and things like that. So, buy the book, especially if you're like me and you're always worried about what your kids do, which most mothers are. Buy the book, because it's gonna help you in the long run. And it lets them connect with, I think, a lot of fire safety and traffic safety. It kind of talks down to kids like, don't do this, don't do this. But instead of that, you can say, oh, look what Clifford did. He looked both ways before crossing the street. Or, look, Clifford taught those kids how to stop, drop, and roll. That's a good thing. So, you can teach it to them without necessarily talking down to them, and I think that it sticks a lot better if you do that. So, Clifford is moral. It teaches good habits. It is a book that's always been popular. And I think it's a great book to read around 2 years old, because the storylines are a little bit more complicated than the Biscuit books, which I'm going to be reviewing next. So definitely pick this up, especially if your kid loves dogs, because it's going to make them interested in reading it. So please tell me what you thought about Clifford, your memories of Clifford, and everything else.